Yo, what is going on YouTube? I am Germ here, and today, as you guys can see up on the screen, we're going to be talking a little bit about Sofi Technologies Incorporated. Now, this is ticker symbol SOFI, Sofi, just like the name of the company. But unfortunately, some bad news for this stock today. You know, we reached 52-week lows once again. We touched all-time lows once again. You can see the stock is down 1.79% today, which is not the worst single downward day in the world. But obviously, over the past 5 days, we are now down 7%. And year to date, we are down 54.53%, and the stock sits at 713. And today, intraday, for the first time ever, we dropped below $7. Now, obviously, when we dropped below $7, it didn't last very long. We actually went back to green for a second, then went back down pretty red, and then ended up kind of ending the day with a little bit of upward momentum. But when we take a look at the broader market, obviously everything was kind of down today. Everything was kind of red. The Dow Jones was down, S&P was down, Nasdaq's down, Russell's down. Those were all just down a little bit. Obviously SoFi was down more than any of the major indices, which isn't a great sign, but things could have been much worse. But still, it just really, really sucks, and it's really exhausting and kind of defeating to get red day after red day after red day after red day. But that's kind of the reality we're at with SoFi and a lot of other stocks in the market right now. But we will be going over all the latest for SoFi and SoFi stock in this video today. So definitely drop a like if you guys do enjoy it. I would appreciate that so much. Subscribe to stay up to date on all my latest content. And of course, as always, there's going to be no financial advice in this video. I'm not telling you guys to buy anything, not telling you guys to sell anything, nothing like that. Just going over the latest for the news and the stories and everything that's going on, sometimes giving my thoughts and opinions. With that being said, let's get right into this. First thing from the SoFi stock subreddit is obviously this. SoFi is now the lowest it has ever been. They show on here the fact that it was at 701, but again, at least according to Google, the intraday low was 697 today. And yes, this is obviously an all-time low. You can go to max, you can zoom out. This thing started at 1041. It's kind of been all over, everywhere in between, but had never really been below $10 until 2022, and then it broke 10, it broke 9, it broke 8, and today it broke 7 for the first time. Now, there's two ways to look at that. Obviously, there's a lot of downward momentum. You don't want to catch a falling knife, yada, yada, yada. Obviously, there's a ton of factors that are pushing the stock down. Some of them that could have a long-term impact. Some of them that are, just kind of centralized in the shorter term, but still they have an impact nonetheless, and they're still making, people have some unrealized losses, at least, if they're not, selling out or getting margin called or whatever. But the other side is, hey, maybe this is the best time to buy the dip ever. Maybe this is the most on sale SoFi has ever been. If you do believe in this company and in their long-term plans and in their business model and in the growth and the numbers and everything behind it, the story and the leadership and everything that has SoFi going on in those regards, then this is the cheapest you could ever get the stock. And maybe this makes more sense to buy it than ever before. I don't know, but I'm just saying, there is the two different sides that people are looking at this thing from. We also had this from SoFi stock subreddit, a highly upvoted post. 155 upvotes on SoFi stock is big. They only have 9,700 members, and who knows how many of them are active. Right now, this is a couple hours after the market closed. There's only 59 members online. But this is a tweet from Anthony Noto. This guy says, what I think is that you don't care about us investors. Somebody else said, hey, he's gotten his stock-based compensation. Why the hell would he give a shit about us regular investors? And then Anthony Noto, to these messages, actually chose to respond. He says, the value of my stock-based comp that I have been issued is the same value as SoFi stock price, saying that, hey, it's not like I'm getting a better price than you guys. Whatever the price of the stock is, that's what I'm getting. And I would obviously love to get those at a better price to, have something that's worth more value. He also says, I've also bought $1 million plus of stock. I have not sold a share, even though it's my compensation, because I am confident in our company and the value we will create for shareholders over time. Now, this is awesome. This is one, him saying, hey, I get this stuff at the same price as all you guys. Him also saying, I put $1 million of my own money into this, but also that he's confident that the value that they're going to be able to create for shareholders, that's all so good. Those are all good signs. Those things do not guarantee that SoFi stock is going to go up from here, that it's going to go up a lot from here, that it's not going to go down further from here in the short term or in the long term. It just means that at least the CEO, the leader, the guy at the helm of this ship seems to believe in it and seems to be putting his money where his mouth is. Because again, this is a large part of his compensation. You know, like he's saying, hey, even though this is my compensation, I've still not sold a share because he doesn't want to sell something for $7 that he thinks can be worth $10, $15, $20, $30 in the future. And that just kind of makes sense. So I don't know. I thought this was good news in a lot of ways. I think it's cool that he's kind of doubling down even when the stock price just kind of goes down and down and down and down, to still hear that he's saying some of these things that he's still holding, and that, hey, he benefits from the stock price going up, but also believes that everyone is going to benefit in the end. We also had this coming out. That while inflation rises, SoFi helps members put more cash back in their pockets with 3% credit card cash back. So I do believe that this is for people who use SoFi and use direct deposit and then newly sign up for their credit card. I think you get 3% cash back for the year. That's what I believe I read. That could be a little bit off, but I also think that is true because of this top comment that said, kind of disappointed it's not for existing credit card holders with direct deposit. So again, I think it's just SoFi members that use direct deposit that newly sign up for a credit card. But hey, I'm all about more rewards. I'm all about incentives to try and get more people to sign up for more and more of their services. Yes, obviously it's going to be a little bit costly for SoFi in the short term, but again, getting people to use more and more of their own services is going to help lower customer acquisition costs. And yes, for that first year, they might be losing some money or not be able to get as much money, but over 5, 10, 20 years, they're going to end up, making it out on the good end of that deal as long as everyone keeps their credit cards open and stuff. So kind of cool and nice that they're obviously giving back to, the people who believe in them and who actually use their products and stuff. We have this. I thought this was kind of a cool story. This guy says, my bull case, SoFi helped me on my financial journey. He says it's easy to hate on the app and the stock for a variety of reasons, but the SoFi app has helped me tremendously in taking my finances seriously and making better decisions with my money. There is a lot of value for the user in my experience. And that is super, super good to hear because, if the business and if the product is actually providing value to people so much so that they're willing to go out and tell other people about it, again, that's great advertisement. That's great word of mouth. That could maybe spread. Maybe this guy's going to tell his friends. Maybe this guy's going to tell his family. But also, it's just showing that the business is actually good and the business is actually quality and actually, is a financial service institution worth putting your money in and worth, using the time to use all their different services and to not just use them for one thing, but to use all the things. And again, I think that is very, very good news for SoFi because again, while the stock goes down and down and down, we hear all this bad news, but this guy's saying, hey, this company's actually doing some good stuff out here, which is kind of cool to see. We also have this guy talking about all the different bear cases that he sees as potential. He's talking about how the moratorium could get extended to 2023, which SoFi themselves has said is maybe even the most likely outcome at this point. Russia-Ukraine war continues through 2022, plus Russia having tenser relationships with Finland and Sweden around joining NATO. Fails to combine Technesis and Galileo into a single service. Galileo fails one of the customers and they decide to switch, which might also cause others to reconsider. That actually would be a little bit rough. Compensation in SoFi's technological moat increases, specifically in Latin America. I don't know if I said compensation or not. Competition. One or more of SoFi's loan purchasers terminates partnership. Failure to monetize members further. SoFi Invest international expansion fails and costs more than it's worth. Expenses much higher than management predicted. Having to increase stock-based compensation. With high inflation, increased risk of defaults. That's definitely a big one. Inability to have enough employees. We'll see. It's something that kind of a lot of people are dealing with right now, but I think is something we are getting through slowly but surely. Growing too fast is causing customer support to worsen and having customers leave. Inflation is too persistent. Gets a security breach and crucial data gets stolen. I mean, that's, I don't know how likely that is. I mean, obviously that can happen, but is that really a bear case? And then low rankings in different sites to deter new members from joining. So again, there is definitely more reasons than this why SoFi could not work out or the stock price could go down or the business could fail or whatever. But that was at least kind of a cool list of different ideas that even if you are a super SoFi bull or just somebody on the fence, maybe some things to consider when, thinking about the company, because, in some ways, a lot of these are things that could significantly impact the company and the stock price. And then finally, some of the bigger news out there. I mean, maybe it's not the most meaningful. Maybe you think it is. I don't know, but it is kind of interesting. Maria Renz leaves Sofi to join GoPuff as vice president. I don't know what SVP stands for. Senior vice president. Maria was Sofi's executive vice president and group business unit leader for money investment credit card. Maria joined Sofi in March 16th of 2020, maybe with money changing to checking and savings. Then that might mean it moves under the bank, so her role would go down a bit. In March, Maria received 152,000 RSU, raising her total RSU owned to 1.2 million. Unless I'm mistaken, with her leaving, she loses all rights to these RSU. So this is kind of interesting. Obviously, whenever somebody leaves the company, people are going to be worried. People are going to be like, oh, why are they leaving? Oh, is this going to hurt the company? Oh, did they leave because something terrible is going on in the company? Or did they leave because the company's going downhill? I don't know. This doesn't really read like that to me. And you know, the top comment kind of, I guess I agree with a little bit. They said this will have zero effect on the share price. Stock has been in downtrend, which means you'll have people who have a million different reasons why it is low and going lower, and knowing the fact that all fintech is down and is just trending with that. But sure, this woman who you've never heard of before leaving the company will certainly be the reason why SoFi crashes. So I thought that was kind of funny. But hey, maybe you know more about this woman. Maybe you know why it's a bigger deal, why it could be a bigger deal, or maybe you're worried, or maybe you're not worried at all, or maybe you think this woman sucks and this is a good thing overall for SoFi. I don't know. Just getting the news out to you guys. But that is pretty much it for this video today. Definitely drop a like if you did enjoy it. I would appreciate that so much. Leave a comment down below. Let me know what you think about SOFI. I'd love to hear your guys' thoughts and opinions. Subscribe, stay up to date on all my latest content. Hopefully catch you guys in the next one. But until then, peace.